twice as fast, square it, mass of the greatest mass would be 4 times. So I said it was 7 times as fast, square it, 49, ratio mass would be 49. Okay? And so now how do we get our momentum? Our momentum is our mass times our velocity. And so if I'm just going to say, I'll just have to say this is, say M2 is 1. That's a mass of 1. All right? It would be an ounce. So this is M2, we're going to say M2 equals 1 ounce, which means that M1 equals 1/9 of an ounce. So now if we want to find their momentums, we're just going to take mass times the velocity. And so with our M2, we get 1 ounce times 1,000 feet per second. And so we get 1,000, so for system projectile 1, so a piece of 1, we get 1,000, and it's just kind of a screwy unit, but it's ounce feet per second. That's a momentum unit. It's a momentum unit. It's sort of oddball one, but there's nothing wrong with it. And for our second one, P2, we got 3,000 times a ninth. So 3,000 divided by 9 would be 333. 333 ounce feet per second. So our, I mislabeled these. That one's supposed to be second. This is the 1,000 pounds, 1,000 feet per second times 1 ounce. This guy. So our shotgun has 3 times the momentum. Shotgun projectile has 3 times the momentum as the rifle projectile, even though they have the same exact energy.
What's your equation again for P2?
For each of these, it's just mass times velocity.
Okay.
So for P2, it's that mass, the 1 ounce, times that velocity. And for a piece of 1, it's that mass, or it's our ounce mass, that mass times that velocity. So here, the ratio of the momentums is the same as the ratio of the velocity, so it's worked out for the same thing. Or the inverse ratio, I guess. The one with more speed is less momentum. Okay? And so if you had, back to Isaac's question about to pick up the gun, if you have a gun of the same weight, all right, in the gun projectile system, we consider that's our system. We're not talking about the buckshot and the guy anymore. We're going to just look at the gun projectile, the gun and the projectile, whatever the projectile may be system. When you, before firing, assume neither one is moving, right? Both sit stationary. After firing, we still conserve momentum. We've added some kinetic energy into the deal with our burning our gunpowder. We've added some kinetic energy, and that's fine. But our momentum still needs to be conserved. So if we have a certain amount of momentum headed off one way with the projectile, whichever projectile it may be, we've got that amount of momentum. We have to have the same momentum as the gun headed the other way. So we take the weight of the gun, whatever it is, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever it might be, and we would use this momentum, and we'd figure out the speed the gun's headed backwards. So what this means is, you have a shotgun and a rifle that weighs the exact same amount. So a gun shoots a fast one, and a gun shoots a slow one. Okay?
Yeah.
And the projectiles have the same kinetic energy.
Right.
The guns weigh the same amount. The one shooting the heavy, slow one is going to kick harder. Because it's going to have 3 times the gun's going to have, has to match. The momentum has to match. It's just the negative sign. Momentum's a vector of quantity. Right? So if we're saying this is positive, the gun's going to have the exact same amount of momentum, so it's got a negative sign in front of it. It's just meaning it's headed the other way. Alright, so the projectile heads out that way, the gun heads this way into your shoulder. And so at the time of firing, the force you exert, like in a microsecond or whatever, the combustion takes place, the explosion takes place, you're not exerting any force anymore. It'll start to compress the skin of your shoulder and your hands or whatever. So in that instant, it's headed this way with the same momentum. Okay? Just headed the other direction. So the shotgun, the heavy gun, heavy projectile gun, it's, 3 times the momentum. Okay?
I have a question about moving this. We
Yeah.
shot him with being back out. He was back out, right?
Well, he didn't go back at all. He's still coming towards us. He's just go. So remember this negative sign, the negative, he started off with a negative velocity.
Yeah.
We just slowed him down a bit. He's still coming towards us, and barely noticeable he slowed down. Slowed down a tiny little.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, so you'd have to figure out, if you wanted to actually, let's say we wanted this guy to fly backwards at 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay? He's running towards us at 10 miles an hour. Now we want to shoot him and have him go backwards at 10 miles an hour. What that means is we are going to have to come up with twice this amount of momentum. If we had the exact same amount, we just stop it. So if we had 176 times 14.67, if we had that quantity of momentum, we would stop him dead in his tracks. Now, if we wanted to actually reverse and head off at 10 miles an hour, we need to double it. So you could figure it out and say, okay, sure, let's do it. Somebody got a calculator?
Yeah.
Okay, so 176 times 14.67,
Yeah.
and then double that. We need twice, so we're going to double it.
Yeah.
And then let's say, what's the reasonable maximum impact velocity? Let's say 3,000 feet per second. We're shooting projectiles. Yeah, but that's gonna
50 cal velocity.
So 176 times this, and then double it and divide by 3,000. I don't think it's gonna be feedback.
They say like if you're shooting something.
So 1.72 pounds. So okay, if you're shooting it at 3,000 feet per second, you need a 1.72 pound feedback, I guess, to do the job. And then he would indeed go flying backwards at 10 miles an hour.
So now did we take into
If he
account
didn't explode,
everything?
I am saying 3,000 feet per second, 1.72 pounds. He's in a bad way. He would have to be one tough fellow, very structurally sound. It's not hard. A very light Iron Man, 170 pounds. He needs to be a very light Iron Man. Maybe have some sort of like really hardcore bulletproof vest on or something. I don't know.
So did we take into account where we shot this guy?
We're shooting this thing.
I mean, if you do like dome him, that might.
That's true. You could potentially impart some rotation. We're just doing center mass.
Well, like, yeah, certain.
Ooh. What?
But then, then you hit him like in the shoulder, and he'd still be moving forward, but he'll be spinning.
That's true.
backwards.
Yeah, I mean, you can hit him in the shoulder. I mean, he'll still be coming towards you. Hey, you might make him come back a little.
Well, we hit him hard enough in the circle, then all the
This fucking class.
We're past the class. We're past class for a while. So does everybody see what I'm getting at here, okay? It's the momentum has to be conservative. This is an elastic flip. Now, if we were to get, shooting with like a 20 millimeter Vulcan cannon or something, it's going to have enough momentum to do the job. However, the shell is going to barely notice him as it continues on, hardly at the speed. And so it's not going to be the inelastic collision that we were speaking of. The inelastic collision, remember, V1, V2, the speeds of the two projectiles post-collision are the same. So if the slug was over-penetrating and continuing, as I say, at unabated speed, they wouldn't be the same. They'd be different. That'd be
So now what if?
all right, so now we have the bad guy. We're going to shoot him with a Vulcan cannon. I'll give you the specs on the cannon, and I'll say this much kinetic energy is imparted to him as it passes through. How much does he slow down?
Let's say.
So that would be a really good question. I'm not even kidding. You might see that one.
Let's say what if we got shot
Wanna
by
take
the
the examples
Yamato,
I can see
like,
that.
Let's say what if we got shot by the Yamato? You know,
Yakuza?
18 inch, the 18.
Oh, Yamato. Oh, okay.
What's the
Okay.
amount?
18 inch, just biggest battleship gun ever made. 18-inch gun. Yeah, I mean, just.
He would be even at the end of the.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about a 1.72 pound projectile. That's like a couple tons. They're heaving across the sky. And so. Are you serious?
Well, what if we did a cannonball?
Okay, so, this again? Yeah.
I have a question on this.
Actually, I don't think I'm going. So do you want another, I was gonna do it again with the rifle. Or I was gonna move on to another problem that's a little bit different. I'll move on to another problem that's different.
Isn't just the rifle a different?
Yeah. So all it's really gonna be different in the rifle is I was gonna run it through in SI units instead of English units. And we're gonna have a lighter bullet, and it's gonna be going faster. The rest of it's gonna be the same. So yeah, I think you're gonna see that. And I'm gonna go on to the next one. So I'm gonna erase this.
I have a question.
Yes.
So far, we've been doing kind of like a one dimension thing. Are we gonna learn this stuff in different?
I am going to, I think we're gonna have time for me to talk about elastic collisions in 2 dimensions. And you end up with 4 equations and 4 unknowns, and they are nonlinear equations, which means they essentially need to be solved numerically, unless you consider special cases, where you don't have total freedom of the motion and the mass. And so I'm going to go through some of those special cases, and you get kind of tricky, and you can solve special cases. And I think I will. I think we're going to talk some of that. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go. Good job. All right. So back to basketball.
Probably tired
Okay.
of staying out.
So now I'm going to go back to talking, this is going to be a partially inelastic problem. Remember I was talking last time about coefficient of restitution, and so if the coefficient of restitution is 1, that means it's perfectly elastic. If it's 0, it's perfectly inelastic. Somewhere in between is partially elastic, which is actually what most solutions are. So this is true. A standard for a basketball, properly performing basketball, since it's some international standard, is that when the basketball is dropped from 1.8 meters, I don't know, right up the span of basketball. Some people say, baseball diamonds this size, a football field 100 feet long, you got a long. I don't know. Hey, I don't make this stuff up. This is real. This is real. Okay. So you drop it from 1.8 meters. It must return to a height between 1.2 meters and 1.4 meters. Okay, that's standard. If it doesn't do that, it's not properly spec basketball. That's what they're telling us. And so, what would the coefficient of restitution be for this? How would we figure that one out from last time? Yeah. So our coefficient of restitution is going to equal the bounce height over the drop height, and take the square root of it. So we have 2 different bounce heights here. So if we do it with the 1.2 meters and the 1.8, what do we get? Somebody with a calculator. Dice the board down here. Anyway. Equals 0.816. Okay, and if we do it with the 1.4 over the 1.8, what do we get then?
.77.
Yeah, that's big.
I got 0.88.
Okay, 0.882. So, for the purposes of this problem,